Hello and welcome to a very late production of the Stakehouse Premier League Game Week 11 episode. You could be forgiven out there for thinking that we were ignoring you, but don't worry, it's not Mickey van der Ven and Jed Spencer you've got here. It's the much better duo of Conor McCabe and co-pilot Lucas Dazinski. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Buzzing for this week, but also a bit sad because it's going to be the international break after. But this is going to be the last international break until March, so there we go, something to celebrate.
Exactly. It's good that we don't have to go through that for a sustained period. Let's not mention it again. It's quite depressing. We're quite a good few weeks in a row now. Following my tips particularly, you'd be in a lot of profit in the last 2 weeks. Let's see if we can make it a hat-trick. We're going
Treble nearly came in.
The draw treble very nearly did. Also, of my 6 selections, 3 of them landed. So if you'd done them as singles, it was nice profit. And I just needed Sunderland, because I did them as trebles and fourfolds. And if I had Sunderland land, the trebles landed, but if Sunderland had landed, I'd have made a couple of grand profit. So very, very close to a big win now. So maybe this week is the week. We've got another 8 or 9 tips lined up from initial count. So let's go. We start off with Spurs versus United, and this is one game that we do need to talk a little bit on the background side for, because there's issues going on with both. Start off with United really quickly, right? I mean, the hierarchy now, suddenly United have managed to go 4 games unbeaten, and the United hierarchy finds its voice, you know. Ruben Amorim has now shifted to a mindset of, it's not, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. It's now, of course I want to be here, and I love it here. You've got Jason Wilcox, who's spoken twice in the last week from our backroom team, saying things like, the plan's working, we just need to keep following the plan. This sort of stuff. And it's just a little bit cringe to me. It's the first good run of results in a year, and suddenly the whole effort around United in terms of trying to use this as positive PR is just a bit, as I say, cringe and a little bit desperate. Of course, it's a good run of results. I'm not over the moon about a draw of Nottingham Forest, by the way. So
I mean, should have lost, really. Should have lost that game. Like, should have. Not could have, should have.
Fair enough. But the other point that I want to make on it is, like, just how silly the hierarchy are going to look if United now go and lose the next 3 games or something like this. It's just, and then where does that leave you? Because they're only piping up when things are going well. Just makes you judge it. I've been travelling today and I've had a long day, so tell me if this analogy makes sense or not, right? But it strikes me as like 2 young kids in their first relationship, and they have a bunch of fights, and they're like, oh, the other person's this and that, and I'm not sure if I want to be with them. Then they have like 2 or 3 good dates, and they're posting on social media about how in love they are. It's got that kind of immaturity.
That's a very strange way to put it, but yeah.
Do you get what I mean, though?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it comes across to me. I want to see Jason Wilcox talking about the plan when things aren't going well. I want to hear Ruben Amorim say, I want to beat United when results aren't going well. Because that's how that's the right time to really judge people in these positions for me. In terms of Spurs, just to touch on the Van der Ven, Jed Spence thing, I don't know what your view on this is, right? But I just think this is so disrespectful. Number one, there is never ever a time, no matter how annoyed you are with the result, to not applaud fans. Fans give up so much. Fans are skint. Fans give up time. Fans give up their lives to follow their football clubs in some instances. And for Van der Ven and Jed Spence to judge it as a situation where they didn't need to do that in itself is bad enough. But then went to completely ignore a new manager like Thomas Frank, who they know, them ignoring him, they know what that looks like in the media, in the press. Van der Ven in particular is setting an example. I mean, Jed Spence followed Van der Ven. There's no way Jed Spence does that if Van der Ven doesn't, right? Because he's following that example. And I just think it wasn't hard for either of them to go, boss, I'm really sorry, but I'm just going down the tunnel here. I need to get out. If that's truly how they feel, and it's too much effort to clap the fans, but they've really let the fans down, and they've really let Thomas Frank down in the way that they reacted and responded to him, because there was a complete lack of respect.
Yeah, I mean, it looked awkward as hell as well. When Thomas Frank just like staring at him, and even like the questions after in the press conference, like he didn't really know what to say. He was like, "Oh yeah, emotions this, emotions that," but it's always got something more to it. I mean, they played horrific that game. they created 0.12 xG in a game, which is mental against their main rivals in the league.
And isn't that more of a reason to get out to the fans though and show the togetherness in
Yeah,
the team?
we'll say sorry or whatever, right? It's just mental. I mean,
and on Frank, you're absolutely right. He didn't know what to say, and then it's like, what an awful position for him to be in, and they put him in that position. Him was defending them was very good of him. So I don't know if he had to do that, but
I mean, he's never going to call out the players, right? He'll call out the players separately behind and closed doors, but not in front, right? He's got a bit more class.
Yeah, exactly. But everyone's saying Van de Ven's worldie makes up for the way he acted. In my head, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't make up for it at all. Like, he's really let himself, the fans, and Frank down. Anyway, let's talk about the game. I don't have a bet on this one. I just think it's United and Spurs, still so up and down. Could be absolutely anything, right?
Yeah, same. I got these two teams quite level. So I think I don't think there's going to be much between the two teams. I mean, Tottenham have been so horrific. United been better, I'd say. But yeah, who knows? Probably could be another draw.
Okay, yeah, I mean, our advice here, I think, is just to enjoy the chaos of this one.
Early kickoff as well. Never back the early kickoff, right? Just like Gandhi said.
Yeah, particularly if it's in an ACCA. Let's talk next about Everton versus Fulham. What's your model? I do have a way I'm leaning towards on this one. So what's your model saying?
Everton's slightly better, actually. 0.25 goals better than Everton than Fulham. But saying that, I think the market's more or less there. So I don't have a bet this game, to be honest.
Okay, so it's my first official tip of the weekend. I am back in Fulham. Reason why, I just think Everton weren't great against Sunderland.
First half, they played really well.
Yeah, for sure. And then Dye's goal was absolutely amazing. Danced past four players and curled one in. But they were hanging on by the end. They didn't actually show an awful lot, Everton. They were obviously poor at home in the last game against Spurs when they got battered. Fulham have not been great either, but very, very good morale-boosting win against Wolves last time out. Just think the price on Fulham here is a little bit too high. So I'm happy to take a swing at Fulham. Price of 3.6, which I think is not horrendous value. So I'm putting Fulham up for my first tip here. Next, we have an absolute cracker, a claret cracker. West Ham versus Burnley. What are you saying?
I was really surprised that West Ham managed to get something against Newcastle at home. They played quite well, to be honest. I think it just shows Nuno when he picks the right team. They played well, shut down Newcastle quite well. Deserved to win that game. And going into this game again, it's a 6-pointer for them. And they have to win. I've been really underwhelmed with Burnley. They've been getting some results lately, but they've been really lucky, like massively underperforming the XG. Saying that, look, West Ham aren't great, but I feel like the price is quite good here. You're getting 1.92 for them just to win at home. I feel like, look, if they're serious about staying up, they need to win this game.
So you're putting it up as a tip?
Yeah, official tip.
Okay, there we go. First official tip from your side. Just
West Ham win, yeah.
Out there for the West Ham Newcastle game, you saying no one expected. A quote from me on the last pod was be very wary about backing Newcastle. I didn't put West Ham up, but I did say that I wouldn't touch Newcastle in that game, and I was proven right. Yeah. I also have a tip for this game, and I'm not necessarily going against you, but effectively I am with my selection. I think that there was no pressure on West Ham against Newcastle. People expected them, as you say, to get beat.
Pressure now, yeah.
But now this is a game where the expectation is going to weigh very heavily. We saw that when Wolves played Burnley at home, and we all thought, but Wolves will probably deal with the expectation at around even money and get over the line. Burnley went there with a freedom. As you said, this is a 6-pointer, and attacked Wolves really well. Of course, they overperformed their XG. I get it, right? But I think Burnley will get on the front foot here. And I'm not saying they'll get a result because I think there's goals in this game. But I like the Burnley to score at least 2 goals price. I think they'll get on the front foot. They have got people that can hurt West Ham at the back. West Ham's defending, by the way, is still atrocious. I get they were good against Newcastle, but their defending is still atrocious. So the Burnley to score at least 2 goals price on the exchange was 3.75.
I can't see it. I can't see it happening. Like
You said the exact same when I put Spurs up to score 2 at Everton, and they didn't score 2; they scored 3.
yeah,
So
but their goals are like,
this is a market that I've got good history in. So Burnley to score 2 goals. I'm putting it up as an official tip at 3.7.
I'll be surprised if that happens. I'll eat this microphone if it happens.
We'll hold you to that. Right, Sunderland versus Arsenal. Model thing.
I mean, Arsenal favourites by almost a goal. Haven't got anything. I think the market's quite correct. It's pretty correct, pretty accurate here. I don't think there's any value. I hope Arsenal drop some points here, but I can't see them doing it, even at Sunderland.
Well, I disagree. I think there is value in this market. And
Well, there we go.
I cannot believe that Arsenal to win to 0
1.4.
It's still available at over even money.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean, they're 1.4 to win. That's just so short played away.
Of course, but 2.06 for them to win and not concede. We know Sunderland have been overperforming. You talk about it every show.
Yeah.
And against Everton, which I was watching closely because, again, it was worth so much money to me, but Sunderland's main point of attack when things got desperate was to launch ball after ball into the box. They're going up against the best set-piece team in the league. I mean, it's just written that this game is going to be an Arsenal win to 0. To be able to get on this at better than even money is just printing. Like, it really, really is. I expected this to be about 1.7. And for this to be over even money, I just think that's printing. So get on that while the prices are on, because I think it'll go off odds on. All right, we've got Chelsea versus Wolves. I mean, the Wolves circus act. You fire Gary O'Neill to then bring in Vitor Pereira to save the season. Next season, you fire Vitor Pereira and you consider bringing Gary O'Neill back. Wolves are still paying Gary O'Neill to 2028.
Oh, really?
You
serious? I didn't know that.
First contract. So what could have, if they'd hired him and they were in talks, they could have been paying him double. Twice.
Yeah.
That's just nuts. Like, what is the strategy? What is the thinking here? What are they doing?
That's mental. Oh, no wonder he's not jumping into a job then, because he's rolling in it, right? I didn't know that.
Well, every sacked manager is, mate. I mean, there's a story that Mourinho's earned more money from sackings than
I think it was more the fact that I would expected a settlement to happen, right? So he would have got paid a lump sum, but clearly it didn't happen, so he's getting paid continually.
He just has to get his contract paid out. That's why no manager ever leaves a job. Because they get their entire contract paid out. So it's crazy. Anyway, in terms of their market, Wolves, they're obviously managerless. It feels actually like quite a good time to play Chelsea. You know, they're not really... I mean, they got the win at Spurs, but it was an absolutely dire game of football. They've struggled a little bit at home.
They went to Carabag, whatever you call them.
Carabag, yeah.
They went away, they drew. I mean, come on.
Exactly. So they're not in great form, but just because Wolves are in such disarray, they'll probably get over the line. It feels like a low-scoring home win to me.
Yeah, look, there's a bit of value on Wolves, you know. You can get Wolves plus a half at 1.8. I reckon there's some value, and that's a bit of an official tip for me. I don't think Chelsea have been great. I think that obviously Wolves don't have a manager, but I reckon they can keep it tight, and all we need is Wolves to lose by 1. And we win. Okay.
There you go. Second tip from you. Let's move on to Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. I can start on this one. You know my feelings on Villa. Just don't think they're the same side. I don't think there's the same excitement around the...
Actually, they're 19th on XG. Unexpected points. 19th, Villa. 19th.
I didn't think that's startling. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, that's
but I don't think Emery's as excited about it. I don't think the team is excited about it. I don't think the fans are excited about it. They're struggling a little bit. They're obviously not as interested in this the Europa League as they were as the Champions League last year. and they're coming up against the Bournemouth side that have had a week's rest. In comparison to them, that's only had, I think, the Thursday to Sunday combo. So I've got absolutely no problem at all backing Bournemouth here at 3.45 for the away win. More than happy to do that. I just don't think Villa are the force that they were. We know that Bournemouth will run them into the ground, will press high, and in Antoine Semenyo, have got arguably the very best player in the league right now. And I don't think that Bournemouth have got anyone with anything like the quality of him. I think is it Scott as well, who's just been called up to the England side, so he's going to be buzzing.
Yeah,
there's lots of exciting things happening at Bournemouth. They've responded so well to losing 3 defenders in the summer, and they look an even better unit. So I'm putting up Bournemouth at 3.45.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't got much between those teams. They're quite even. So look, I can see Bournemouth winning. I can see it being a draw. Don't have anything this game.
Cool. Let's move on. What have you got for your boys, the Mighty Bees at home?
Yeah, so this Newcastle. Is banker the nap of the season now. I think it's Brentford -5. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I really thought Brentford turned a bit of a corner. The Palace game I went to last week was actually horrendous. We just weren't great going forward. Didn't create anything. We didn't let them create much, but the goals we conceded were pretty sloppy, to be honest. One was an own goal, one was like a looping header. Going forward were pretty rubbish. I think Shard wasn't great. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets dropped for this game, but knowing Keith, he probably won't do it. Saying that, look, Newcastle haven't been great, to be honest. They're on a bit of a bad form. We're playing at home. I expect us to give this a good game. It's a shame Visser's not back for this game because that'll be a really good reception he'll get at home. But yeah, I haven't got anything here, but I can see Brentford edging this. I can't see us losing to Newcastle, to be honest. But yeah, obviously going to the game, so I think it'll be a good watch.
I agree with the last thing you said. It's going to be a good watch, and there's goals in it.
Overs.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Brentford scored 3 against Liverpool, 3 against United. They score against the big teams. Newcastle are not the side when whatever form they're in, to go away and try and sit tight. Newcastle will come to the G-Tech and fight fire with fire, and this is probably my strongest tip of the weekend. I couldn't believe the price. I expected, when I checked, over 2.5 goals here. I thought the price would be about 1.5, 1.6. It isn't. It's 1.93 for over 2.5 goals in this game. That is incredible. That's a really, really good value bet. So get all over it. I mean, you can literally combine Arsenal win to 0 and over 2.5 goals in this game. If you want a little double, paying around the 3 to 3.5 to 1 mark, 4.0, 4.5, that is a great double. Almost worth half a point on its own, actually. So that's a potential one to combine. But I think both over 2.5 goals in this game is a winner in waiting. I really do.
Okay.
I don't know which way it's going to go, but
Brentford's way.
I wouldn't be surprised if they play like they did against Liverpool. Let's talk all about Crystal Palace versus Brighton, because I know you've got strong feelings on this one too.
Yeah, it's just got to be back in Palace. I feel like the market's still not really valuing where they should be. I mean, if you look at the table, I mean, they are ninth. Yeah, ninth, but they actually on the expected score, they actually should be third. So they're really having a really good season despite the results, in terms of they're playing really well. Brighton, on the other hand, have been quite patchy. That it's good that Palace came out of the Europa League game on Thursday. Luckily, they're playing at home as well, both home back-to-back games, which is good. Obviously, no travelling at all. They came out without any injuries. I think Wharton should be back. He played 30 minutes last game, so he should start, which would be a massive boost. I think just the price on them is just, I think there's like screams value. You can get minus a quarter, around 1.9, 1.95. So basically, if there's a draw, you get your money back. But there is a derby, so it's going to be a good atmosphere. But yeah, I can see Palace coming out on top.
So the official tip is
Palace minus a quarter at 1.95.
cool, which means that if it's a draw, we get
Half your
our
money
cash
back. Yeah, a bit of insurance.
Cool. I mean, look, we disagree on Palace, right? We just do.
They're going down apparently, right?
They're not going down, but
Oh, they're not.
they are.
Fair enough.
But
I
they
thought they
will
were.
fall off. They will fall off, and I don't know when, but they will fall off. And the European schedule again, it's another Thursday to Sunday, and I just Brighton are patchy. I agree. Where Brighton also have the firepower, and they turn up, they can hurt Palace. I'm edging. Obviously, I follow you as well, right? So I'm on Palace, but I'm not putting it up as an official tip. But if you push me from my thoughts, I would edge towards Brighton actually for this.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, why don't you do it head to head then, isn't it?
We can do an unofficial one, but as I say, I've got 5 tips already. I'm not putting this up, and I value your model and what you're saying about it. So I'm not confident enough to put up officially. I'm just saying my feeling is with Palace, thin squad. Glasner, look at the moaning Glasner did about the fixture list coming up around Christmas. He was really angry.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that he's right to be angry, fine. But part of the reason that he's so angry is because he knows how threadbare Palace are, and they are going to get picked off at some point.
They need some signings at Christmas.
They need a big January. That's the only way it doesn't happen.
I wouldn't say too. Yeah, all right, never mind.
No, go on.
I wouldn't say. I mean, big January, probably just 2 or 3 players that they can like rotate in and out. Probably.
I still think they're working with a squad of 13 to 14.
Yeah. But you've got to
like
do
to
that
see
gradually,
them
right? And like January, you don't get that much value, so I feel like you need to bring like 2 or 3, and then the next window in the summer that needs to be like overhaul. Not overhaul, but I mean, a few players are going to be lost, right? Gahey's going to be gone. There's going to be a few others, etc. So
Gahey might even go in January, by the way.
Well, yeah, exactly that.
Might try and pick him up.
Well, yeah, the way Liverpool have been playing, they probably will.
Yeah,
spend more money in it, try to buy stuff out.
He becomes even more important. But if he walks out on a free next summer, he could go anywhere. Could go Madrid, could go lots of places. So it wouldn't be shocked. And then, of course, Palace need to recruit at least one extra player for him. All right, let's talk about Forest versus Leeds. And just a very quick one on Evangelos Marinakis, because we're very quick to slate him, and I mean us, but I also mean the widespread media, right? He's taken a lot, Evangelos Marinakis. So we also have to balance and say when something good happens and give credit. So this situation on the Huntingdon train with the Notts Forest fan who went through a lot, the way that Marinakis has responded to this situation, not just for him, but all Forest fans involved. But with this fan in particular, he's getting the flight with the players to the next local league game.
That, yep.
He's getting a free season ticket, and Marinakis has responded, I think, above and beyond with regards to this situation. So has to get props for that. I feel like it's really classy, bit of operation from him there. So well done. In terms of the game, I think Dyche will look to nullify Leeds and stifle them in terms of their creativity. I feel like it'll probably work. I feel like they'll probably catch Leeds on. I think Leeds will be in the ascendancy, even though it's at Forest, and I think that Forest will end up catching them on the break and probably win narrowly at home.
Yeah, I think so. I got Forest a 0.32 goals better than Leeds, so I expect a narrow win. To be honest, they played really, really well against United. Should have beaten United quite comfortably, I would say, in terms of like expected goals, the correct chances they created. They were quite unfortunate. So yeah, another game at home. I reckon they'll win this.
Cool. So we're in agreement. Finally, we started with talking about Tottenham and United being a no bet in terms of enjoying the chaos. For me, that's what I'm saying. I'm echoing those thoughts for the final game between Man City and Liverpool. This is must win for both of these teams. Normally, when you get these two teams early on in the season, they're happy to settle for a draw, and it can be quite dull. It shouldn't be, because ultimately, if you go 7 to 9 points behind Arsenal at this stage, or 10 even, then it's too far. So they both have to go out and try and win this game. I think it'll be a thriller. You can maybe have a look at the goals angle if you want, but I think it's priced very fairly. It's already priced heavily in favour of goals, so there's not an awful lot of joy to be had. There's no real juice in the market. I think it could go either way. So for me, it's a sit back, relax, enjoy, and just feast on it because it's two great teams still, two great attacking teams.
You reckon? Well, I got a good angle. I reckon Liverpool plus a half's a good bet. You get around evens, just above evens on that. I think, look, accountability between these two has always been tight. Liverpool haven't been great of late, but they played really well against Real Madrid, to be honest. I was quite surprised how well they played.
Yeah.
City obviously done well against Dortmund. They played. But yeah, I think this will be a draw. And look, Liverpool plus a half is a good shout for me. I think there's value. It's evens. It's mental. I think if this fixture was last year, the price wouldn't be this good, right? This is mainly because like Liverpool aren't playing too well, but you know they're still kind of the same team, right? They're trying to get into the rhythm of things. I feel like there's value in that.
Yeah, I mean you'd be a bit concerned with Haaland versus Konate because Haaland will obviously try and latch on to Konate, right? In terms of getting a bit of joy, and he's having an unbelievable season.
Yeah, that is true. But look, that's one player.
There you go.
The whole squad. It's all about the whole squad, mate.
Haaland is not going to get in the way of Lucas Dzinski.
Look, he could score, but he can score one, and then Liverpool can score one, and it'll be a win for us.
And I agree with that argument because I wouldn't be surprised. I think this won't be cagey. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 3-3 or something like that, a 2-2, 3-3 here, or 3-2 one way or the other. I really wouldn't be surprised here. I think there's goals in it. As I say, it's must win. Let's recap. So for me, I've got Fulham to win away at Everton at 3.6. I've got Burnley to score at least twice at London Stadium at 3.75. I've got Arsenal to win to 0 at 2.06, which again, is a great bet, by the way. Bournemouth to beat Villa away is 3.45. And Brentford Newcastle over 2.5 goals is 1.93. And my advice really is combine the Arsenal bet and the Brentford bet because I think that's a nice double.
I have West Ham just to win. It's around, what's it, sorry? I got 1.92. Wolves at 1.8 plus 1.5 against Chelsea. Palace minus a quarter against Brighton, and then Liverpool plus a half against City. Another clean slate for me.
Awesome. So that makes a combined total of 9 tips in total for you guys to get stuck in and mix and match or pair up how you like. As we always advise, single bets are generally the most optimal route forward, but of course, if you want to have a little bit more fun, feel free to stick some of them in an ACCA as well. That's all from us. Hope you get a chance to listen to this in time for the fixtures. We'll try and make sure we're a little bit earlier in future game weeks. But enjoy the game week and take care of yourselves.
Cheers.